Okay. Looks like everything is mostly set up here. Give it just a couple of minutes here to make sure we catch up. There we go. And once again, Puppy wants to be internet famous. Hey, Puppy, how are you doing? Yes. Alright, so first off, I wanted to let everybody know that yes, this was a promotional copy given to me by the folks, either directly or indirectly by Ludian Studios. And they've got Alpha 14 coming out this Friday. So what they wanted to do is give it out to people, let them take a look. You know, if they liked what they saw, maybe do something with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little live stream with it today. Have a little bit of fun and, yeah, take a look, see what we've got in here. Because they have made some changes. If you're familiar with the game, that previously it allowed for just three survivors. And you were kind of fixed in what you did. You had, you know, you could build different stages and things, and you had to basically just survive. But what they've done is the game has really taken on a life of its own at this point. And with the Alpha 14, they've made a few changes, including things like some scenarios. They've now got full mod support and integration. So it's actually come along pretty well. So without getting too much into there, let's go ahead and go into New Colony. So what we've got now is you've got your crash land. There's a rich explorer. There's lost tribes. You can also do custom. We don't actually have anything set up for custom right now. Now for these scenarios, as you can see, you start predefined with what you're going to have for number of people, as well as the equipment and resources you're going to have specifically at the start. So you also have the map scattering. So for those who have played previously, all of this was randomly generated previously. You would get a knife, a pistol, and a rifle for starting weapons. And your crew, you had your 3 crew members, and you could basically re-roll them until you got skill spreads that you were happy with. So yes, Sharky, I know it's because I'm downsourcing it for archive purposes. Otherwise, it would be entirely too big to do on Twitch and Hitbox. So we're not doing multicasting today. For those who are curious, we are only here on YouTube. But in the future, we're going to be doing multi-broadcast live streams. This is just kind of a, you know, making sure all of the front end on my side stuff works before we blow up on 3 stations. You know. All right, so I want to show you the quick Steam integration. Not sure the broadcast is going to catch it. Nope, broadcast is not catching it. Okay, so basically, what it does is it's like everything else with Steam. The overlay kicks in, and you'll go directly to the Steam Workshop. What you can do from there is if somebody's uploaded scenarios or any of the other mods, you'll be able to pull them directly into the game from there. Like all games that have this integration, you may need to restart afterwards, but you know, it is what it is. The fact that they've actually built it into the UI, I'm actually really liking. Go into the scenario editor. You can randomize your siege, you can load previous scenarios, you can save. We're going to get out of here because we really don't want to do too much. So in the edit mode, you can add things, you can update. This is where you can, if you create a scenario you think other people might enjoy, you can upload it directly to the workshop. If anybody is on workshop, you can then download that into your own scenarios and play like that. So if you wanted to build challenges for people, this is a way for you to do it. Or if you just like playing content that other people are creating, again, this is how you would do it. All sorts of options in here, including all of your starting stuff. Basically, this gets rid of the randomization of what you're going to have in the environment, specifically so you can build those challenges for people. Okay. So we're actually going to go back this way. Let's see here. Actually, we do want to do no. We're going to do, let's see. Starts with 1 people. Faction will be a colony. I haven't done the Rich Explorer yet. I have a feeling this is going to be interesting. Let's give this a try. So we're going to do base building. So each of the AI storytellers have their own script sets for how the challenges will be introduced. So if you're playing on a planet that has a bunch of pirate bases and a bunch of natives and a couple of colonies, right? Basically, the storyteller that you choose impacts how much of a challenge you're going to see. Some of them are more aggressive than others. Like Cassandra here basically starts with a easy amount of challenge, and those challenges will increase in difficulty. And as time progresses, the difficulty ramps up, and as you go further along, it becomes pretty difficult. I mean, it gets crazy. Now, you can modify what they're doing. So if we choose her again, you can modify a little bit of how their behavior, that AI is going to behave. And then each of these basically is a different level of challenge. Free play, the threats will still appear, but they're going to be much easier to defeat than they would be in normal gameplay. Base builder minimizes the number of interactions with the AI entirely. And then as you go up through rough, challenge, and extreme, that just sets the baseline for where the challenges are going to start. Hey Jess, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday to everybody. So, and then if you really want to be brutal, you can turn on permadeath mode. So, I'm not going to do that for the sake of this. We're just going to have some fun. Phoebe is actually a good one to start with if you're looking for a easier balance. This particular AI is actually if you're looking more to do the free play base building stuff, you probably want to go with Phoebe. If you're looking for the challenges, if you want a scaling challenge, you're going to go with Cassandra. If you want just a completely random system, you're going to go with Randy. And when they say random, they mean random. You could have 3 or 4 encounters that are back to back that are ridiculously simple, and then that last encounter will be, an all-out war type of thing. It's not easy. So if you're looking for completely random, yeah, definitely use Randy. But we're going to go with base building and Phoebe. All right. So let's randomize the seed a little bit. Well, that looks like an interesting seed to start with. And this is actually going to be a smaller map. The smallest you have is a 150 by 112, and this is the number of tile sets. So all the way up to 400 by 300. That is actually a huge amount of space. The 200 by 150, it's for what we're doing, it's going to be good. It should be about the right size. Okay, so we have a random planet. Now to navigate around the map, you can use either the WotC keys, the W, S, A, and D, or your arrow keys off on my keyboard on the right hand side. What you're going to see are some these little indicators. You're going to see red. There should be, and there might be some green ones on here too, right? Do I have any green ones? No, I have no friendly tribes. I've only got 2 hostile tribes. Great. So this is going to be entertaining for you guys. Now, one of the things that I do suggest is when you're first starting out is you're probably going to want to find something that's with mountains and year-round growing period. The reason why these are important is that the mountains actually limit the number of directions that hostiles can come in from. So it helps give you a little bit of a defense. It also gives you more terrain to dig into, so you don't have to build as much as far as defensive walls are concerned. If you pick an island, you'll still get, even though you're on an island, you will still get the traders and stuff coming through, but I think you will see a decrease in them, but it won't stop them. So that's one of the reasons why I would suggest starting on one of the mountain areas, and definitely look to make sure that your growing period is year-round. Now, if you are completely new to the game, you might want to stay with the temperate forest or the basic desert. You don't want to go with the extreme desert because you're going to run into heat problems. Even with the desert, you're still going to run into some heat problems. At least here, when you're in the temperate forests, it's a much more balanced environment. Yeah, flying raids, right. Okay, so We got all this. We're going to go ahead and select our site. And now we come into the character. So as you can see, basically, it's, if you've played before, you're probably familiar with the screen. With the Alpha 14 and the new scenarios that have been introduced, as you can see, we no longer have to start with 3 characters. This is a single player, single character scenario. Because of that, I'm going to randomize these a little bit. Oh, look at that. That is actually not a bad spread. We got a little bit of research, got some crafting. Let's see here. Shooting and animals, construction, and crafting. Unfortunately, he's got a lot of health, or she has a lot of health issues. Hey, S'more, how you doing, buddy? See if we can find... Now, the reason why I'm hesitant to start with anyone with health issues is simply because of the fact that everything you do in this game has a stat, right? Everything that you have, like all of your arms, your legs, your body, whatever, all have stats, and they will impact the way that you can do things and what you can achieve within the game. We definitely need somebody with research, though. Because we're only one character. Hey, Bloodbane, how you doing? Happy Monday, everybody who's joining, and welcome to the stream. Oh, that one's going to be hard to pass up. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and do that one. Let's go ahead and start with this one. That works. All right, so for some reason, starting the game killed my live stream, so yeah. There we go. Looks like we're back up and running. Awesome. Okay, so now that we are in the game, short keyboard shortcut. Most important one that you need to know offhand and like from the outset is spacebar pauses your game. So, all right. So now that we're on the planet, let's zoom out a little bit. We are just using the scroll wheel there to zoom around, and then we'll just use the WASD keys to navigate the map. Oh, you're passing out over there, Sharky? Right on. Okay, so we're trying to find a place to build our first base. Because we only have one character, I definitely want this to be somewhere easily defended and to build from. Now we have a pre-existing structure over here that we could claim. Looking to make sure that we don't have any ominous areas, because there are very nasty things in some of this game that, well, let's go over here and see. We're going to tell him to deconstruct that and see what happens when he gets over there. Ancient danger. Okay, that's a bad idea then. Let's cancel that. We do not want to let those guys out yet. So now that we know that that's there, all right. Yeah, I'm watching out for the bugs. So, basically, if I break through there, there's a alien invasion force in there, and they come out, and we have no way to defeat them as of right now. So, now we know that they are there. Let's go ahead and designate over here. We're going to grab this. We want a stockpile zone, and we're going to drop the stockpile zone. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Let's drop the stockpile zone. Yeah, we'll drop it over here. And we want everything to stockpile over there. I'm going to go ahead and say, let's grab all of this. Turn off the restrictions so that the character can interact with them. And he should start moving stuff over there in the near future, hopefully. So this game is Rimworld. It is, as the developers like to say, a crossover of Firefly meets Dwarf Fortress. So now, if you double click on any item on screen, it will highlight all of the same items that are on screen, and then you can just do bulk commands. Nice things to know about. Okay, so we don't even start with a pet on this one. Alright. This is going to be a rough scenario. And then as you can see, basically the character is now moving things around. So very much like Dwarf Fortress, where you... Hey, no worries, S'more. See you and Sharky later tonight, man. Okay, and then, yeah, so very much like Dwarf Fortress, where you give very basic commands of, I want you to do this, and then whoever's the best equipped for it will go do it. In this one, because it's only one character, my character is going to have to do everything. So this should be interesting. And actually, let's take a look over here, look at the work. What is his... What do you want to look at? No. Okay, so he's going to fight things that will attack him. Alright. So you can get to the point where you're doing things like researching components. Eventually you can actually build larger gear. You can tame any of the animals here. You can hunt the animals. Some of the animals will hunt you as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're just going to designate a bunch of these to take out. Open up a little space for us here. And while he's doing that, we're going to go ahead and go over into our structures. Now, if you have multiple material types available, when you click on anything to build, you'll get a little pop-up here, and that'll show you what you can build your stuff out of. The OP traps, yeah, like the Deadfall Trap. Oh, sorry, Bloodbane, yeah. I actually wanted to stream a little bit earlier, but I had some scheduling conflicts, unfortunately, so... So what we're going to do is we're going to build that. And we'll leave that for a door. We're going to put a door on the front and a door on the back. Okay. So now we have some things planned. My guy's going to run around, finish doing whatever he's working on. I believe he's going to grab this. He should be grabbing most of this first. Once this is done, he'll probably start moving the rest of the resources in. What I also need to do is I need to designate a growing area. I know, that sounds kind of bad, right? All right. 15 by 5 or thereabouts is usually pretty good. Since it's only one character, I'm going to leave it with a 12 by 5. And then we just want these 3. We want him to move those. There we go. No worries, Bloodbane. Hope you have a great evening, man. Thanks for stopping in. And don't forget, we will have the normal live stream on Friday at 7 p.m. US Pacific as well. So yeah, so this game is currently in early access. They are getting ready to go to Alpha 14, which their plan is Alpha 14 should be going live on Friday of this week, July 15th. And I believe they've got it on sale right now on Steam. So... definitely worth taking a look to go check it out. If you have any questions, make sure you hit the folks up on the forums. They are very supportive. It's one of those games where not only the development team but the community are very, very active in the game. So now that we've finished the last wall, it automatically creates a roof for us, so we actually have a place to stay now. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do furniture, build us a bed. And E and Q will rotate them. So we're going to put the bed right there. So as we gain some resources, he's going to go back in and he'll start working on stuff. Hey Pepe, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Happy Monday. Oh, there we go. There we go. Hey you, are you... Oh, okay. You are one. You are my puppy. Okay. No price given yet. Okay. Thank you for checking that. If you take a look over on their website, what is it? Rimworldgame.com. There should be more information about, purchase as well as the details about the game. So, but Alpha 14 is coming out this Friday, according to the development team. We will see, how well it works when it gets here. It's Steam, you always have to take Steam with a grain of salt, right? Oh, all right. So let's go ahead and build a little bit of power. We're gonna put, let's see, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That should be enough room there. Okay, so what we're going to do is, it would really help having more than one person. I have to say, having just one character makes this a lot harder than normal. I'm used to playing this with having 3 characters running around doing stuff. So one guy could be doing collecting, one person's building, and somebody else is doing resource gathering or something. But so you're never quite sure where things are getting dropped around here, so it's always good to take a look around the map even after you've started, because you may find more resources someplace. Alright, so nope, doesn't look like we have a whole lot of resource floating around on this one. Okay. We're down there, so... Okay, so what we're going to do now is basically, hopefully get enough things built. Alright, so we're going to put in just one battery for now. We're going to run... that there. And then what we'll do with this is we're going to do a standing lamp right there. Okay, and that'll get us started. 30 on the website, good to know. So, but yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with this. I think I've got 7 or 8 hours into the game already. Just basically within the current build system, well, with the late Alpha 13 build, and I've been having a lot of fun with this. What we want to do here is we're actually going to designate this. So you go in, when you click on any of the zones that you've created, you can go, there will be a button here to choose what is eligible for it. We're going to clear all of this, and we're just going to do food. And then for this one, we're going to clear the food from that. Because we don't want them storing the food outside, we want it inside, because anything stored outside that has a durability, such as the food, will take damage over time. Basically, if you bring it inside and throw it in where it's under a ceiling, you don't have the damage being taken to it. It doesn't decay, basically. So... Alright, so he's doing that. Would be nice to see everything get built. What we're going to need to do is I need to find... There's a small steel vein there. We've got steel closer over here. Okay, he's picking up the raw resources for us, and he's going to bring it back. You know what? Let's go ahead. We're going to turn that on. We're going to turn... Did we turn... Beauty display. There used to be... I thought there was one here for... Alright, let's do it this way then. Huh. There used to be a button over here for having your dogs, or your pets, the animals' names showing up as well. We're going to close that out. Go ahead and speed this up so that he's moving a little bit faster. Okay. So now our poor guy has gone asleep. So while we're letting that go, what we're going to start doing is see if we can find some resources that we can use. That slate we can turn into stone eventually, marble that we can also use to build. One of the things we really need, though, that's slate. We need the, I think it's called, like, what's it called? It's a plasteel. That's what we need. Now, plasteel is a raw resource that you can find and refine into other things. It's just like any other material in the game. But I'm not seeing any on the map. We've got regular steel, compacted machinery, which is good. That gives you your components. Limestone wall. All right. Oh, is that silver? Nice. How's he like it? 20 hours in. I mean, that's pretty good time commitment for an early access game so far. Compacted machinery. See, I think I've only ever seen plasteel on the exterior of a mountain like this once. I have the worst luck with some of this stuff. Yeah, if you like Dwarf Fortress style games, you're probably going to like this game. It is a lot of fun. Alright, so as you can see here, we've got our solar generator up, we've got a battery in place, and we have a light that's basically keeping us, from fearing the dark. Alright. Now, things to keep in mind, right? When you're, especially early in the game, when you build batteries, you want these things inside of buildings. If it starts raining, what will happen is that this can short out and it will discharge any stored power as well as potentially start fires. I always recommend, if you have the resources available, to build in at least stone, if not steel, basically to help limit the amount of damage that fire can do to any of your structures. So we need defenses. Okay. We've got our basic stuff in place. We have a little bit of food left. So let us go over to, is it structure? No, it's security. So Deadfall Traps, these things are broken. Yeah, I don't know if they're still as bad as they were. Basically, these things were one-hit kills for a lot of stuff in the game. For the animals, you can still restrict them. You can't actively control animals until you get them trained. And then, even then, it's the same level of control that you would have over, a player or another character. Okay, so we're going to put that there. Oh, we have a visitor. Let's take a look here really quick. Hey! He's coming over to trade. Okay. So what we're going to do is, let's go back over to our base while we're stacking stuff. So it looks like it should be catching up here in a second. I hope. Okay, let me try restarting the Steam. It looks like anytime we get... Yeah, it looks like anytime we get the interrupt messages, it's killing the stream here. Kill him and take all his stuff. Yeah, the animal will still tend to follow players around. Is there anything that we really need? Nope. Okay, that was a really annoying sound. Yeah, so basically, the animals will still follow the players around or the characters around while they're doing things. You can train them if you have a person with the appropriate animal handling skill. In fact, let's go to animals. Let's look at him. Okay, so just to show you really quickly, when you look at the information for any of your animals or even characters, it'll come up with all of your stats here. Hey, look, he's got a market value of $200. Because his training intelligence is advanced, that means we can actually train him to do specific tasks, which, when we come over here to training, here, I'm going to pause this really quickly. So as you can see here, we can train him up to do hauling, which is where the animal will actually go out and gather things for you, specific things. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell him to train this guy up. Unfortunately, he's too small to train to do rescue or hauling. The animal you start with in normal gameplay is completely random. If you go into the scenarios, you can actually modify what animal you get. And there are things like dire wolves and that type of stuff. Much larger animals. I think huskies are fairly standard. So if you're looking for a specific animal, or if you want to have an animal that is able to do things like hauling goods or even rescuing characters, you're going to want one of the larger animals. Right, so let's go. We need... We're going to make this out of wood for him. And we're going to put it right there. Because I don't think you can, if I remember correctly, you can't rotate these, right? Yeah. So this way he'll have a spot indoors as well. Because there is an indoor and outdoor system, you can get people who will get colds, they can get infections if they get wounded and you don't treat it appropriately. All things that you have to be worried about when you're playing this, which is, I'm kind of curious to see how this is going to play out with having only a single character, because usually you need multiple characters to get things done. So this is going to be, I think, a little bit interesting. Alright, so while he's sleeping, let's go ahead and do that. We're going to move some of this stuff around so it's out of the immediate area. Well, beauty and mental state and all the needs, talking to Sharky's point here, basically, if you've played games like The Sims, let's go into, yeah, we'll go into work. We'll just look at him really quick. So if you go in here, you have a needs menu, right? This tells you where they are for their hunger, how tired they are, how happy they are, their beauty level. As you can see for my character, these are things that don't tend to matter quite so much. Where you're looking for here is where they're trending, right? This is telling you that right now he's okay as long as it's above this point. For his comfort, because this character is a debutante basically, he's expecting a higher level of comfort, which he doesn't have yet. We'll eventually get there. As your mood drops, you have more chance to go into a psychotic break. And in a game where you have 3, 4, 5, 6 characters, one character can destroy your entire base if you're not careful. So some of the things you need to be looking at, and you do need to come in here from time to time, but because it's a single character, we're only doing this for the live stream, I'm not really worried about the long-term viability of this particular save. I'm not going to be focusing too much on this, but it will tell you what their last couple of actions were, as well as was it a positive action or a negative action. So you have this where he's in a little bit of pain. He's ate without a table. He has eaten without a table. He's uncomfortable for some reason. Oh, because he wants this chair. But he's feeling good. He's got enough space. He has good food. He's got he's optimistic about his new his new colony. And he has very low expectations, which just goes to show low expectations makes you happy. But yeah, like I said, so with the mental aspect of the game, if you see a lot of negatives here, and it's mostly red, the more that happens, the more stress your character will receive, and the more likely they are to have a psychotic break and go on a killing spree. So It is. It can be funny. Like I said, if you've played Dwarf Fortress, that's an aspect of the game you're probably very familiar with, and it is almost verbatim. It's just a new approach on the way that those things are done, and you get to see a little bit more without having to have an external application like what is it called, Dwarf Therapist, I think is the tag-on app. So, but for this game, you don't have to have anything like that. It's already built in, and it's included within the system itself. So, his melee has gone up a little bit. Let's see what he's got for gear. He's got a meal on him. Yay! So he's got clothes, so he's happy. Okay, so what we need to do then is let's go into furniture. Do we have... Yes, we do a short table. Oh, not enough room for it. Okay, so what we'll do then is we are going to deconstruct that. And we're going to make another room for him. Let's go that way. What we're going to do is we're going to make a small dining area for him. Right. Let's put a wood door in. Because it doesn't need to be a steel door interior, right? We are going to do floors. We're going to put in... Oh, you know what? I kind of want to put in a wood floor, but we're going to put a kitchen in here. So let's just... Do we need to do anything to smooth the floor? Yeah. Okay. Awesome. We'll do tile then. Okay. And we'll let him go so that he can actually start building stuff. It's always nice when things go in your favor, right? Alright, so we've got him doing that. Let's go into production. This is where all of your, well, you know, for lack of a better term, production stuff will be. We're going to put in an electric stove. So when you click on this, you're going to see an outline of the item that you're trying to place. And then there's going to be a circle under it. That circle is where you need to have a free space for somebody to interact with the device. So since this is here, sounds like somebody went crazy out there. Okay. So he's basically building this for us now. And the reason I made it, again, why I made it out of metal with a tile floor is so that if something happens and we get a fire in here, it's not going to spread too far. Alright, so working on that. And what he'll do is once he gets everything done, he'll start moving these things that are in the way. Let's go ahead and mark that for removal. Yeah, and so, like you see here, what he's doing is he's basically putting the groundwork in for everything. So we have tile floor, we have the kitchen stove in place so he can actually cook now. Our battery is almost full, so we will have plenty of power. And then if you just want to check our battery's burn through rate here, because that's going to tell you roughly how much time he's got in here. So he should be okay throughout the night. He's still bringing that stuff in. So one of the things that I do want, he's cleaning that up. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to go furniture. Let's put a small table in. Let's put the table here. We're going to put a chair in and set it so that it's facing the table so that he can actually eat. And we're going to put a light in so that he's not eating in the dark. Okay. And how are we doing for the growth? Potatoes are growing pretty well. What are you doing? Stargazing? Cloud watching. Figures. That sounds like me. I would do that. Totally neat. In a survival situation. Yep. Alright. So let's make sure that's okay. Yeah. So he is out and about. What's he looking for? Are we out of metal? Oh, we're out of metal, huh? Okay, so let's go ahead and have him start mining some of this stuff out. And what this will do is this will give us the metal that we need, specifically the steel, to continue building the walls and stuff. Hey, we had somebody join us. Who joined us? Let's see here. Gardener. Nice. Let's see what their needs are. Everything looks good. Oh, they have asthma. We're going to have to get medicine for them. And apparently they have no clothing. Nudists. Okay. So, that means we're going to need to actually start building expansions on this now. Oh. There we go. So people have a place to sit, they have a place to eat, they can actually cook if they are so inclined. Well, they have something similar to that. They do have, if you get invaded and you are able to capture the person who attacked your base, you'll be able to basically have a chance to convert them. If you need people who are high in social skills, and those social skills will allow you to convert them over. So what we're going to do here is we're going to structure. We want 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be bed. Let's get rid of that one first. We're actually going to go there instead. Alright, so now one of the things that I would like them to have in this game is the ability to do a bulk select on resource nodes like this. Why am I being attacked by a red fox? Why do you not have a rifle? Hmm? Oh, it's not letting me... you used to be able to tell it to go pick it up. Uh-oh. Undraft. There you go. Protect the dog. Actually, actual slavery, yeah, I don't think that would go over so well. We're being raided. Why is it... Okay, you need to go equip that. And you've already got a pistol, so we are good to go. Okay. Oh. And for some reason they didn't... Oh, that's why they haven't finished building the turret, because we were out of iron. Okay, so I hear things going off, but I'm not hearing... Alright. There we go. Now that we have the turret in place, now we have a little bit of defense. So let's go ahead and put in We're going to put wood floors in here. We're going to put... Oops, need a structure. We're going to put in a steel door here. We need to put in some furniture. That. We're going to put in a wooden animal box. We're going to put in a light. There you go. And now everybody has a bed. And we're good to go. Okay. So now they have their own place. You just need to have enough metal for them to finish this once the light is done. There you go. Everything's lit and we have a place for everybody to go. And basically what you're going to do from here is, as you saw, we had somebody, you know, a new person join our area, and you're just going to basically rinse and repeat this as the area expands. Eventually, you get into more advanced pieces. We can't research anything because I don't have the bench yet, but you eventually get all of these things where you go through and you'll start researching all the way up to ship computer building. Once you have advanced to that level of technology, you actually end up building a ship to get off the planet and continue adventures. So the end game for this is basically being able to build the ship and to get out into the universe. So up until that point, you're doing everything you can to survive. Alright, so let's see here. Looks like our potatoes are pretty much done. Yeah, our potatoes are almost finished grown. Yeah, a lot of the terrain exploits like that, Sharky, have been addressed or are constantly being addressed. I mean, you're always going to run into something where, you know, people are always going to figure fun stuff out. Like, one of the things that I like to do is when I come over here, if I was going to open this up to get the folks out, as I would put a couple of deadfall traps out here, like build walls up here, and then have deadfall traps. Line it so as they come out, it basically one-shot kills them, and anybody who makes it out, there'd be like 2 or 3 turrets right here. Once everything was dead, you reset or remove those traps, go in, and then do whatever you need to do inside the base. That's just one way to do it. There's lots of different things that you can do. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, another thing I would like to see is something with Dwarf Fortress, where you have multiple levels. Right now, this game is only the one map layer, which for me is unfortunate because I like building in 3 dimensions, but for the game itself, it works really well. That's very possible then. I haven't checked to see, because I think I know which one you're talking about, where you have the turrets overlapping specific doors, and you only put doors where the turrets can see them, kind of thing, so that the AI it will always path past the turret. So, alright, so everybody's going about their business. So let's go ahead and get all of this put into the stockpile. Get all of that put into the stockpile, so that this way we have some room to work. And since we have those now, we're going to go in. We're going to put a second battery in. Okay, and I'm going to put it in a second, actually. Yeah, we'll put it there. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing that would stop you from doing that. That's actually a very valid tactic. You'll get to see something like that in my one of my videos later this week, actually. where I'm on the receiving end of such a tactic. Okay, so overall, I have to say, now having 7 or 8 hours on this game, early game I'm really enjoying. I haven't done too much in late game, but from what I have seen so far, I've really been enjoying this game. It's one of those when I've got other things going on and I just need something running in the background to take my mind off some stuff. This is one of those games that's very easy to get into. As you can see, it's not very complicated as far as the basics to survive in the game. Where you really find the challenge is later on when you're doing things with the AI that allow for more hostile actions. There's a full trading system in place. You can actually set up trade points with other tribes. There's just all sorts of things that you can do to keep yourself occupied in this game. Yes, wind turbines are better, but they're also much more expensive in terms of footprint. To give you an idea of, actually, yeah, that would be the space of a wind turbine that would require in order to generate about 50% more power than what I'm generating right now. So resource-wise, it's fairly comparable to what you get from 2 or 3 solar panels. But space-wise, it's I don't like the trade-off. Because, I mean, look at that. Just to give you an idea. And then if you really need to, you can put a fuel generator in, which will burn wood. So if I drop it, like, right there. But I'm not going to put those in. I tend to try not to put in things that are going to set fires. So... All right. Let's come take a look and see what he's got to offer. Oh, look at that. Oh, he's got uranium. Do I need any components? I don't think I need any components. Not right now. Oh. You know what? We're going to go ahead and let them go on their way. I'm not going to do any trading with them. Yeah, you can technically build around it. You can build around the the solar panels as well. What I really should be doing is actually building a power station, which I think I'm going to go ahead and do. So what we're going to do with that... Oh, cargo pods came down. So you want to keep your eye out on these little events that are coming on, because you're going to see stuff like this. These are all things... What is that? Those are berries. Very good to have. That is steel slag that you'll eventually be able to convert into your raw steel again. It requires a smelter, which is something you get from future research. Let's see. Okay. Can we not do anything with that yet? Okay. What we're going to do is, let's go ahead and go into structure. 1 battery, 2 batteries. I'm going to put a steel door on this because this is going to be our power area. And we're going to throw some more batteries in here. There we go. As soon as it's covered, it's out. Yeah. You do need to be careful with that with the solar power. They have to be exposed in order for them to work. So I don't tend to worry too much about it, though. Like I said, it's more, it's one of those convenience factors things for me at this point. Okay. So I think that is most of the stuff, really. I mean, you have your furniture, you have security, which is things like sandbags, types of flooring. All of these require different components in order to use, obviously. And in order to get into the stone stuff, you actually have to have a research table and research the skill for stone cutting. But once you have stone cutting, you can turn raw stone into brick, and then you can use those bricks in construction. Designating zones. You have a stockpile zone. You can set up a dumping zone, which we're going to do. Let's put the dumping zone over here. Now, dumping zones are where you put things like the corpses. Or anything that you don't have a use for, like these blocks, will all get moved over here into the pile until the pile is full. Okay, so what did we lose? Oh, because the batteries interrupted the... Alright, let's find us some more raw metal here. There we go. It's L is the quick key. And basically what we're going to do is just harvest as much of this as possible so that we can get the rest of this stuff up and running again. Yeah, it does look like they've fixed a lot of the AI problems where you would have people doing things where, let's say I had built 6 batteries in here. What they would do is they would build these 3 and have a guy that's stuck back here. That kind of stuff is being minimized. Oh, nice. But it is something that you need to be aware of as being possible to happen. So. And we really need them to finish these batteries so we get power. Okay. So on that note, we are about an hour in. I think I'm going to go ahead and call this here. This really was just, do something a little bit different. There's some folks that have been wanting to get in on the live streams a little bit earlier, and I am going to try to do these types of live streams earlier in the day for me so that it's actually earlier in the day for everybody else. Because I know that this is an odd time for a lot of people around the world. So, but if you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, hey, let me know why. Maybe I can change something on future vids. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and take off. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope you have a fantastic week. And yeah, as always, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Oh, now to play some more Rimworld. Oh, yeah.